Kentucky is going to be hosting Georgia for a women's basketball game in Rupp Arena. Kenny Brooks has not lost a game in Rupp Arena this year. He has lost outside of it, neutral location, to away games, one against Mississippi State and one against Lady Balls. Now, I can't say that I'm upset that Kentucky lost to my Lady Balls by any stretch of the imagination. Whenever Tennessee beats Kentucky, I love it. Now, Katie Abramson has been doing a bang up job this season with Kentucky. I mean, with Georgia, sorry. Okay, they lost to South Carolina at South Carolina, and it was pretty convincing. They lost to LSU in a convincing loss, and they lost somewhat convincingly to Ole Miss. All three are ranked teams, but they also convincingly beat Ole Miss. So this is kind of funny. Ole Miss comes to them, they beat them. They go to Ole Miss, they lose to them. It's both games were convincing. Now, getting later in the season, but Katie Abramson, I like Georgia. I really do. I like Georgia. Not normally, but I like this Georgia women's team. And Katie Abramson, uh, she's had a couple of rough seasons, but she's got this team turned around this year. I mean, Georgia is 17-3. That's really amazing. Last two seasons, 12 and 13 wins with 18 and 19 losses. She's not going to have that this season. She's on a tear to make it to the NCAAs this season. Georgia Bulldogs are a good team. Kenny Brooks doing what he does best. This is his second season at Kentucky after doing good things with Virginia Tech. Last year they were 23-8. Took them to the second round. They're 17-4 so far this season. You know, last year he had a team that was hurt to darn good. He did really good at James Madison. You got to love them James Madison coaches. You really do got to love them James Madison coaches. He redid Virginia Tech. And what he's doing at Kentucky is pretty darn amazing. I mean, you've got two really good coaches that are facing each other. One's a James Madison coach. I'm sorry, I got to bring it up. If you're a football fan, you understand. And I'm looking at these two teams, and because it's at Rupp Arena, that's going to have a lot of say in this game. I'm looking at the numbers. This is how I do my games. This is how I tell you what's going on. I go by the numbers. They're actually really close to each other. So Georgia going in there is going to have to deal with the fact that, yes, in a lot of ways, they're somewhat close. And a couple of stats are a little bit better to Kentucky, but it's in Rupp Arena. Rupp Arena is got its own magical, mystical thing. I didn't like Old Man Rupp, but this game is going to be fascinating. It's going to push a lot of things. Now, Kentucky is, at the recording of this, is 11th in the nation. They're going to drop. They just lost two in a row. They can't afford to lose this game against Georgia. Georgia, on the other hand, is not ranked, and I think undeservedly so. I think that Georgia should be ranked. They're playing like a top 25 team. I want to see what they do in this game. This game, if they win this game, will put a lot of doubters down. Yes, Kentucky lost to Lady Balls in Thompson Bowling Arena, but this is Rupp Arena. Let's take a look at this game by the numbers. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics. Do a little basketball and other sports on occasion,
But that's what I do. College. Also, A. General Robert Nealon, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it.
Okay, Georgia's visiting team. That's how I always start this out. Georgia is scoring 76.2 points a game and having 56.4 points scored against them each game on average. They're at 46% field goal percentage. That's really good numbers. 39.5 rebounds, not bad. 15.1 assists, not bad at all. 3.5 blocks, that's low. That's a weakness. Now people go, well, when you talk about weakness, okay, but they're also doing 9.3 steals, which is a little low, but still good. So you look at the team. Georgia has Danny Carnegie, who is leading in points, rebounds, 18.9 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.6 steals, no blocks. He's a guard, so 2.3 turnovers, little high, 47.3 field goal percentage. That's really good. 81% free throw percentage. Considering a lot of the folks, that's good. 42.6 3-point percentage. That's good in a lot of ways. Mia Woolfolk is second leading scorer, 12.1 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 0.8 assists, 1.67 steals, zero point 0.4 blocks, 2 turnovers. A little high, 59.9 field goal percentage, really good number. 75.9 free throw percentage, but can't hit anything beyond the 3-point line. Trinity Turner, who leads in assists and steals, is at 11.9 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.9 steals, 0.2 blocks, 2.6 turnovers, really high, 40.1 field goal percentage, which is good, 69.8 free throw percentage, a little low, but not bad at all, 29.3 3-point percentage, not really that good. And Riley Thurkoff, 10.2 points a game, 1.9 rebounds a game, 1.1 assists, zero point 0.7 steals, 0.1 blocks, 1.6 turnovers, which is good. 40.9 field goal percentage, not bad. 84.8 free throw percentage, that's good. 40.2 3-point percentage. These are all really good, but their leading blocker is only getting 0.9. That is Aicha Indoor. They are heavily reliant on 2 players. That's Danny Carnegie and Trinity Turner. They're at 643 minutes for the season with Danny Carnegie with 32.2 minutes a game. Trinity Turner's at 635 for the season with 31.8 minutes a game. Then you got Riley Thurkoff, who's sitting at 26.6 minutes per game, sitting at 532 minutes for the season. But everybody else is really balanced. Until you get to Aubrey Beckham, who's a backup guard, 49 minutes for the entire season. I'm looking at all this and I'm going, hey, good team, 45.6 field goal percentage, not bad, 69.3 free throw percentage, a little low, and 35.3 3-point percentage. Not bad, could be better in a lot of ways, but Danny Carnegie is getting a lot of points, not as many as you would think, but then there's a kind of massive drop off to get to Mia Woolfolk, at 12.1, and you've only got 4 people hitting double digits. You've got 2 players that are getting way too much play time, which is going to wear them down. I understand Katie Abramson's doing what she needs to do, and she's letting other players balance out. This could wear out her 2 key players. Hopefully it doesn't. They're not getting as many points as you would think they would. But hey, 2 good teams. So that is the Bulldogs. Okay, let's take a look at the Kentucky Wildcats. They're scoring on average 77.1 points a game. and they're only allowing 55.9 points a game. They're at 44% field goal percentage, 41.6 rebounds a game, 17.5 assists. Both those are a little bit better than Georgia, and their points for and against are better. 7.3 blocks. That's one of the best teams for blocking that there is. Now, they've only got 6.2 steals, but it doesn't really show all that much. Now, when you look at this team, Clara Strack, you've got to pay attention to Clara Strack. She leads in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks, and she's a center. This is like some, uh, Bill Russell type stuff here. And yes, I prefer Bill Russell to Wilt Chamberlain. Claire Strack, 15.8 points a game, 10.3 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 1.4 steals, 2.9 blocks, 1.9 turnovers. Not bad, actually, especially considering she's playing 30.3 minutes a game. 47.3 field goal percentage, 70% free throw. She's only at 23.4 3-point percentage. Now, Toni Morgan, who leads in assists, she's a guard, 14.9 points a game. So they're pretty balanced in who's scoring. The, Morgan's on the court 34.1 minutes a game. 3.6 rebounds, 8.4 assists, 1.2 steals, zero point 0.6 blocks, 3.1 turnovers. That's really high. 48.6 field goal percentage, 40.5 3-point percentage. So she's doing good on the percentages. 73.4 free throw percentage. Tioni T, 11 points games, 6.5 rebounds, 1.1 assists, zero point 0.9 steals, 1.4 blocks, 1.2 turnovers. That's really good. 54.9 field goal percentage, 70.7 free throw percentage, and 8.3 3-point percentage. That's not good, but she is a forward. Jordan Obi is getting 10.9 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, zero point 0.6 steals, zero point 0.7 blocks, 2.1 turnovers. That's a little high. 54.4 field goal percentage, really good. 67.3 free throw percentage and 24% 3-point percentage. Not that good. 31.1% from 3-point range. Georgia's doing a little bit better than them, but they've got field goal percentage about the same, about a point off. Georgia's a little bit better. Now, Clara Strack and Toni Morgan are getting way too much time, along with Amelia Hassett. This team's going to get worn down. Clara Strack's got 637 minutes so far this season. Like I said, 30.3 minutes a game. Toni Morgan's at 717 with that 34.1 minutes a game. Amelia Hassett, a forward, 660 minutes so far with 31.4 minutes on per game. So this is a team that could get worn out, which Tennessee showed that they can do, but it's still a good team. They have a couple weaknesses, sure, but it's an amazing team. And Clara Strack, let me tell you something. I'm liking watching Clara Strack. I am. Somebody that you should be paying attention to. Uh, she's probably going to be guaranteed a slot when it comes to WNBA or whoever. It's a talented team, but they're just wearing the players down a little too much. I'm looking at both these teams. Now, Georgia, okay. Danny Carnegie, really good player. They're a little unbalanced on who's getting time on court, but so is Kentucky. Both these teams a little unbalanced. Clara Strack, I can understand why. Danny Carnegie, I can understand why. I'm looking at these two teams. Danny Carnegie's a better scorer, but balance wise, when it comes to who's scoring, I think Kentucky's got a little bit better. Plus, there's not a lot of difference in the points. It's going to come down to who can get their rest at the right times, who's going to get the right scores. You can take it, or you can block Claire Strack. She can turn to Tony Morgan. Keone Key is doing somewhat decent. Jordan Obie, Amelia Hassett, all five of those are in the double digits when it comes to scoring. Georgia only has four players in double digits, but Danny Carnegie is balancing that out with her having a little bit more. But if you block Danny Carnegie, you're taking out a lot of their offensive power. I'm liking both these teams. I am. Both these teams deserve a slot in the NCAAs. They're showing it. Unless they have major meltdowns, both these teams are probably going to be in the NCAAs. End of story. I think Kentucky's just a little bit better, though. I do. I think that Georgia should be ranked, but Kentucky is just a tad bit better. That's what I'm seeing here. Um, they've got, you know, Kenny Brooks and Katie Abramson. Both of them are really good coaches. You look at these two teams, and they're not separated by a lot, but I really do think that it's going to come down to coaching. I think it's going to come down to who's going to get worn out a little bit more, who's used to it. Kentucky just lost a heartbreaker to Tennessee. I'm not upset about that because, well, it's Tennessee, but they know where they messed up. Kenny Brooks can adapt. Georgia is, dealing with, they're on a win streak. They've got some highs going. Both of them, that could be a positive thing. Then throw in the fact of they're so closely tied together. It's going to be in Rupp Arena. Wildcats haven't lost in Rupp Arena this year. And you know what? I don't think that they will in this game. Katie Abramson will have this Georgia team prepared, but I think you're looking at it as it's going to be Kentucky. Home court, fan base. Hey, Kentucky fans, if any of y'all are Kentucky fans listening, I've seen how wild y'all are. I can understand how y'all can get Rupp Arena going hardcore. I think that's going to be the main key here. Plus, like I said, I think Kentucky's just a little bit better in a lot of ways. But it could also be the simple fact of, is Kentucky worn out after that Lady Balls game? Lady Balls will wear you out. That could be a deciding factor here, but I don't think it will be. Y'all tell me what you think. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
Hey, that's my video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And comment. Don't forget that either. Hey, this has been Paul with
Artlist.io.
Redneck Thinker Media. I do sports, I do politics. Hit like, subscribe. And y'all, this has been Paul. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.